People, we are back at them. We're coming as they do in Chelsea with both barrels. It's a double barrel. I don't know why they're going two guns tonight, but we got two gunslingers, Lewis Mastermind, and of course, the Dark Destroyer, Sean Wallace in the house, Daddy Ernie, and Fluid Area, myself, Robbo Ranks. Now, guys, welcome aboard, but Ernie, two of them? Two Chelsea fans? Is that really required?
Well, my good friend, my learned friend Sean should have been on a few weeks ago, and he wasn't available, so we managed to grab him. So when the Dark Destroyer is available, we got to get him on.
I think it was a setup. I think you set him up.
Lewis was, he always contributes to the show in the comments and bits and pieces. So I thought, why not get both of them on today? Because my contribution is going to be very mager, as we say, because things.
It's never mager. It's never mager.
Ain't going right. Things just is going from bad to worse, and I fear tomorrow will be a draw anyway. So don't matter.
Well, Ernie, listen. On that note, there are other teams. There are other football teams available in the Premiership to watch. So we don't have to keep it on Man United, but
no.
You just don't watch anything else. You come on a football show, you have no clue of any scores, but you know about Maguire's shoe size.
Don't talk about Maguire. He's got a problem.
See, here we go.
Right? But we've got Crystal Palace. I mean, they haven't done too well this week, but still, I like the flamboyant football that Vieira's playing down there. And West Ham, if I can possibly find out the West Ham way, they possibly could be another London team I'm supporting. But for the rest of the season, my lot are out of the frame. I don't know, Fluid. I don't know, Fluid's a Man United support. I don't know how he feels about what's going on at the moment, but it's not a good look.
Well, I don't think he cares about Man United's problem. He's got his own problems. But anyway, welcome to the show, people.
I'm glad to see Man United being so bad.
Listen, I'm sure if you like to see Manchester United be so bad, and we're going to talk about it, you can all do us a favor right now and just press the thumbs button underneath it. It really helps. Look, if Sean Wallace says press, because usually he's right. So welcome aboard, people. Friday night, another Friday night edition. We want to chop up what happened in the week, and
why there's no need to. Why do you want to do that, Robbo?
Because it's called a football show.
It's called a football show.
It's a football show.
It's called a football show.
Well, I hope you chop up Chelsea as well.
Not a problem. That's what we're
going to chop up Chelsea. Okay. I'm actually intrigued. I'm glad Sean is on the show and Lewis is on the show, because I try to get my head around why are there problems on certain match days, and Chelsea have just been cruising along nicely. They've been in third position practically most of the season, but there's been two big bumps. I don't know if it's all to do with ownership, managers, players, but these two gentlemen will be able to furnish us. So let's start with Sean.
Well, Tuchel reckons it's the pitch.
That was it has to be on the pitch, Ernie, because that's where they play. That was a big bump.
What Ernie's saying is that Tuchel was using the pitch as an excuse as to why Chelsea failed to perform.
Yes.
My own view is that I think complacency is somewhat crept in. When you looked at those two fixtures, Arsenal, who lost 3 games in a row, Brentford, who were basically scrapping for their lives. Chelsea basically, I think, took their eyes off the prize in terms of, playing the match on the pitch as opposed to playing it in their heads thinking that they'd won. And now that we've conceded, 11 goals in the last 3 games at Stamford Bridge, which is unheard of, and 8 goals in the last 2 Premier League games at home, suggests to me, I don't think they're affected by what's happening off the pitch. I don't think so myself personally. I still think it's a question of sometimes teams like Manchester United, teams like Man City, teams like Man City and teams like Liverpool, they get the job done. They don't play the game as if they've already won it. they've got to go on there and earn it. And I think Chelsea sort of slips into that complacency. Maybe it's a combination of us being world champions. We think that all we've got to do is simply turn up, and teams are going to simply roll over, and we forget how unforgiving and harsh the Premier League can be. So what's going to be really interesting is how Chelsea perform this coming Sunday. Because if we're not on the metal, I'm telling you, even third place now will be up for grabs.
Lewis, do you think it's complacency there? Do you think that's the only
bit
thing?
of everything. I think first and foremost, momentum is king. So you had the momentum before Christmas going really well, and I always like to think a happy home and you're going to get everything going in the right direction. You look at Man City, you look at Liverpool. I can't see any blips internally that have taken them off track. It's all been managed very well. We had our blip with Lukaku. I think that was a start because that caused a lot of unrest. I understand that a lot of the players in the squad were not happy with what he said around that time. And the fact is, if you look at his performances since then, he was meant to be the missing piece of the jigsaw. He was meant to be the one that's meant to really get us over the edge when it comes to taking chances. And he's failed. Mm-hmm. And he was total. And Jimmy Floyd Hasselbank was very, very correct in his assessment when he said he just does not look like he wants to be there. And that's sad, really sad for a man we spent 97 million quid on. And I had some hope for him. He started off on fire the first few games, and the momentum just went when that all came out. We need
where did it go? Where does we saw the video, we saw what happened. He rightly so, he was taken to task by the club and the manager. But there must have been a problem before that incident. How did
I think Lukaku's got, I think I mentioned it before in the show. When his first time at Chelsea, he came in with all this big, I am going to be the man that's going to take over from Drogba at the time.
But he was a kid.
But he was a kid, but he couldn't chuck up a ball for the life of him. So what Chelsea said was, we need you to get some more experience.
He can hit a ball
on that, right? So what he should have done, and Drogba tried to talk to him at the time, but he felt at that time he was bigger than what he was, and he went out on loan and did what he had to do, etc., etc.
But did he put himself on loan, or did Chelsea put him on loan?
No, you know what happened? I personally think I don't think Mourinho forgave him for missing that penalty in the Super Cup final.
Yeah.
Because when he missed that penalty, it robbed us a chance of being the first team to hold all 3 European trophies within the space of 12 months.
What a shame.
Thank you, Ernie. All right. I mean, he was not happy with that. And to be fair, when you're an 18-year-old kid who basically believes in yourself and you still got somebody who's blocking your pathway in the shape of a legend like Drogba, then you're going to get frustrated. And he went out. He did well. He did well at West Brom. He did well at Everton.
Yep.
I personally think that he did well at United, but you see the problem with the problem with Lukaku. Lukaku wants the ball played over the top, right, and run onto it and basically score. I personally think he's about 2 stone overweight.
He looks now overweight.
I was about to say
I'm glad you said that, because there seems to be fundamental problems with his physique. When he was in Italy, he looked like he'd shed some pounds, and he's come back and he must be the burgers.
He's good at doing this though, like.
Yeah, and I also like
put it over there. I won't run for it. Thank you.
And you know what's been a big problem as well? I'm not saying this is an excuse, but when Chelsea were really firing towards the end of the last season and the beginning of the season, we had on one side Reece James, then we brought back into the equation Chilwell. And those 2 players, right, up and down, were fantastic, and they were putting in balls, and Drogba was getting on the end of it. I remember that goal he scored against Aston Villa.
Yeah.
Great cross in. He got in front of his player, scored. So now, I mean, that's basically part of his game. He's always pointing. I mean, I looked at him on Wednesday. Gabriel could have pulled up a deck chair, a cigar, and a drink, and basically said, "This is the easiest night."
He had nothing to do.
Because he didn't put himself about. And it's really frustrating to know that we spent £97 million on the player who's supposed to be the final piece in the jigsaw, and basically I'm really disappointed that he's not delivered. I still hope that he can make a career at Chelsea, because what's going to happen, and the worry I've got for the new owners, if the new owners are American, they're going to want a return in that investment. they're going to want to say to Tuchel, and this where could the conflict could come in. They're going to say to Tuchel, you spent £97 million on this player. We want you to get the best out of him. Tuchel does not fancy him.
Do you think that there's room for him next season? Because at the end of the day, he's
90-odd million pound worth. Is he going to go? Is he going to
and
stay?
he scores goals.
He's got 6 games. He's got 6 games, Robbo, to prove that he's worthy of staying at the club.
Otherwise,
hang on, whoa. Back up. 6 games.
6 games.
I think that's a bit I think that's a bit disingenuous. I think
And he won't play those 6 games.
You know why?
He's not going to get 6. There you go. He won't get 6 games anyway.
You know why Lewis isn't wrong? Because he's had a whole season. And as I say,
He's been on the bench, brother.
When he made those destabilising comments, as Lewis quite rightly pointed out, a lot of the Chelsea players were basically not happy in relation to the fact that you come into this club on a big rep, big salary, big signing on fee, and the reality is, right, you hit the ground running for the first 2 games, then you went missing for the next. Okay, you got COVID, but I don't think...
he could be still suffering from COVID.
No.
COVID.
I'm serious.
What's that other COVID? Long
COVID.
COVID.
So put in
Maguire
perspective,
COVID.
and this is where I say where it's in perspective. When you look at the teams like Liverpool, like Manchester City, they've had a season of non-interruption. Klopp and Guardiola have managed the teams very, very well. As much as it hard means to say it, they've managed the team well, and they've been consistent and always maintained the momentum. They may have a blip now and then, but they always come back and manage to recover. We have blips, and we always seem to go in stages. So 1, 2, 3 games of blips. So we had that situation where we drew 3 games at home with Everton, Burnley, and that totally threw us off, and so on.
Yeah, but Lewis, but prior to the international break, we won 6 on the bounce.
We did, but we still, the home record, Sean, is appalling.
Yeah, I do agree.
Our home record is appalling. If you look at our home record, if you put the table up based on our home record for a top 4 club, we're in 9th position. We're nowhere near where we should be.
Romford Jeff's assessment is... Hang on. Romford Jeff's assessment is Lukaku reminds me of a big boy at school that would get rough up all the small boys and score 5 goals, but has little skill and has been found out. I can't buy this found out thing because he couldn't have little skills and he couldn't be found out because he was scoring goals in Italy, scoring goals at West Brom. He was scoring goals at his first season at Man United. I can understand him not playing well.
He's Belgium's top goal scorer. Yeah. But as quite rightly pointed out, right, and I can't not disagree with some of what Jeff has basically said in his comments, right? If you're a top-class striker, you score against the big boys,
True.
You score against the little boys, right? That
100%.
is a mark.
What doesn't help Lukaku is the fact that even Werner's scoring now. Yeah. And Havertz comes in and scores important goals. Yes. And he doesn't.
All right, speaking of scorers, unlike how Fluid's here, he doesn't score much goals. He scored 5 goals in the EFL. He's done well. He's only scored 2 goals in the league. He's scored more goals than Arsenal's number 9 all season, and his name is Eddie Nketiah.
Go on, Eddie.
What a performance. And I know, Fluid, you've seen more of Eddie Nketiah than Arsenal fans. Tell us about this kid. And has Arteta found something with this kid now?
Well, I think he's looked into something. And Eddie came out in the press this week and was talking about the difference in training when he was at Leeds. So he went to Arsenal. Right? Yeah, and it was all surprised to see how fit and how active he was, and yet they still weren't picking him because at the time they were still having problems, wondering whether they should pick Lacazette or Aubameyang, who, by the way, is flying, as we can see, because he's playing as a centre forward. Eddie Nketiah, I think I think he's the leading scorer for the England under-21s. He's got some record or something like that. So all you have to do is with that youth is just play him in his right place and give the right service. You might as well make the youths and play together.
Or play the ball to him in the right place, like Christensen.
Yeah.
What there? Did you guys just lose your head?
I don't think he's staying at Arsenal.
I don't think he's either.
No, I thought there's been a lot of rumor that people are looking at him and he could possibly go at the end of the season.
I think he's going to Crystal Palace. personally.
I think so too. Well, Arsenal had a youth named Balogun who was supposed to be fire, and they never gave him a shot. Yeah, never gave him a shot.
And where is he now?
Remember, he used to be at Chelsea when he was a young boy. He was at Chelsea up to about 14, and we showed him the door. I mean, in all respects to the Arsenal performance on Wednesday, they didn't have to try too hard because we were really poor. Let's be honest. But you can't take it away from them. They came to the back door, come into our place and beat us 4-2. They came there last year and beat us 1-0. As I said before, we're just giving for Arteta. We are just the givers for Arteta.
Yes, a usual thing now.
And the year before that, Lewis, they'd done the double.
And they've done the double as well. So, so not taking away, I think that with Nketiah, the key part of him now will be what's happening on Saturday if he decides to play him on Saturday.
I hope he plays on Saturday.
Varane's going to be fit. You've got Molly Maguire in the back there. So
he's only going to play. He's only going to play Maguire, man.
He's not. Varane's back. He'll blame Varane. So Varane
might take time to warm up, mate.
I mean, just on that thing, when you saw you saw Liverpool, right?
Stop this Liverpool. I want Liverpool fans to watch the show.
What?
I want the fans to watch the show. I don't want them to switch off because you can't say their name right.
Respect, mate. They call Liverpool, not Liverpool. Yeah?
You got to give them respect, Ern. You got to give them respect.
I've seen enough people on Facebook calling them Liverpool, right? So
we're not on Facebook. No. We're not on Facebook, bro. We are live.
And YouTube, right? So here what happened now.
No, I don't know.
When you see that lineup against Robbo Ranks' team, right, of Maguire and Jones in the back there. Right?
He had 5 at the back. That was a ploy. That was a plan.
What 5? What 5?
You had 5 at the back. So
which 5?
You did have 5 at the back. Didn't you watch the game?
We had
5 at the back.
Lindelof.
Yeah, but there's 5 of you, Ernie.
Harry,
5 defenders.
Harry and
away from home. You stand
name?
a chance.
Right. Ernie. Where's Bailey? Why ain't Bailey playing?
Ernie, Phil Jones is playing in the World Cup squad. You can't knock
Phil Jones. Hold on.
In the World Cup squads, mate. Yeah.
When was that?
World Cups. You can't be knocking him.
When was that?
2014 and 2018, mate. He was there.
Which is 2022, right?
You've got to sit back. Ernie, you've got to be humble. You got battered, man.
I'm not. Listen, I can hold that. I told you it was going to be 3-0. It was 4.
So you got to pay Robbo respect.
What do you mean you told us? We're talking about the game now.
Even before we played, I told you we was going to lose, right? But when I looked, a man called me and said, Ernie, have you seen the Manchester United lineup? I said, no. He said, have a look. The first thing I saw was Jones and Maguire. I thought, oh my God, this could be about 9. I think Liverpool eased up. I thought Liverpool eased up again because they eased up at Old Trafford.
Manchester United didn't play with the Manchester United of old. The basic rule of a professional: when you cross that white line,
you play football.
If you ain't got the skill, you give 100% commitment, and not. The only player who gave commitment at Man United was that young kid who came on. With the long hair.
What are you talking about? Didn't he give commitment?
No.
Didn't he give commitment?
No.
Didn't he give commitment?
No. He's the worst of the lot. He is the worst of the lot because after 10 minutes he talked about.
I'll tell you the worst of the lot. You know the worst of the lot is Bruno Fernandes. You know what he is?
Yeah, pretender.
Crack bully.
Pretender.
Right? Pretender. Can only play in empty stadiums. Right?
Say that again for him.
Empty stadiums for about 18 months. Right? The minute you start to fill up the stadiums, guess what? That's the player who got found out, mate.
He's Ernie,
and they've just given him a new contract.
We've got him for another 5 years.
Ernie,
oh my God.
Our boy DJ Edo came on the show every week, and for months he was telling you this guy is a punk. He said he's
told the truth,
and he was telling you, and you weren't having it.
Yeah.
He's been found out because he's at a big club.
I did not comment. You never heard me talk about Bruno.
You was talking about Bruno.
Talking about Bruno is when he came earlier. I'd never talked about Bruno.
All right. Well, you wasn't exactly saying anything other than Bruno scores goals and blah blah blah. He's at the club now and he's proving to be in front of fans
useless.
He's not a big player, and that's why, as Edu said, he was in the Portuguese league till he was like 24, 25.
Guess what? Yeah. And you found out in Euro 2020, he was worse than Euro 2020, mate. Hey?
Right. Okay.
And you're giving that guy a 5-year contract.
Well, I don't know why that is. I think anyway. I
let me
don't
ask
think
a
he'll be there for
question.
5 years.
Let me ask a question. We've just been killing Lukaku, but Manchester United took enough time to get Jadon Sancho. Have they got a good return on him?
Not yet.
Not yet. But
He's
they're
gonna
not.
be a good
Not
player.
yet.
He's going to be good. He's shown fits and starts, right?
It's a poor setup now.
Right.
at
What
Man
it
United.
is, right? As you quite rightly say, right? One thing with Manchester United, you know what? The one thing, Chelsea as well, Liverpool, there is no divine right to win matches. There is no divine right to be in the top of the league.
Hold on a minute.
Right?
Hold on a minute.
You've got to earn that week in. You know what I say to my brother every single year when the league starts, and he laughs at me. I said the first thing I want Chelsea to do is make sure we've got enough points that we're playing the Premier League next season. Then we kick on. Yeah,
That's where it begins.
Don't take for granted nothing that you are going to be in the top 4.
100%.
All right. But Manchester United think they've got the divine right, and Ernie, as I say, is always. You know, Ernie's problem is right. He's too much of a history aficionado. Because it's all about history. I'm not interested in history. Feel this here and now, bro.
Ernie,
We will return. Mark my words, we will return.
No, we're not marking your words.
Sean Wallace. I've been waiting for Robbo Ranks. Not even Lewis too much, you know. I'll be waiting.
Ernie, anyway, forget all of that. I'm going to give you a spelling lesson. I'll give you a spelling lesson, Ernie. Can you see the back of that shirt, the number 11?
Mo Salad.
But he's going to be there. How long are you staying there, Robbo?
Yeah.
Robbo, here's a question for you then, Robbo.
No, here's a question for Ernie. Hang on. Pogba.
No,
Was it deliberate? Was it deliberate?
Of course it was deliberate. You're my idiot.
Why is he an idiot?
He saw that we was going to lose that game, and he said that his leg was hurting him. He should go back to France and forget that he ever came to France. Well, wherever. Go back, just leave the club, like Roy Keane said.
Go back where he come from.
Ernie, leave the club and don't come back.
Ernie, that guy's a World Cup winner.
He's a World Cup winner with your player.
But he's a World Cup winner because you're Ernie. How about your team is awful and you've got a midfield to play with him?
He was fit enough to win the European Nations League with France. Right?
Ern, I love you like a brother. Ern, I love you like a brother, right? But at the moment, Robbo's got you, man. You got to take your licks.
Yeah, I take my licks, but what I'm saying is that certain players have to leave the club.
Ernie
said there's certain players.
Yeah, but Ernie, since 2013, Manchester United has spent £1 billion on players
because we got it to spend. We got more money to spend than your
return. You know your return has been
nothing. Zilch.
One League Cup. Right, I won Europa.
And Europa. Yeah. But we
hold on.
Even Patrick Tappy's killing
you can't spend it.
They also had Ole's wheel. They had a wheel one time. They have a wheel.
Patrick is killing him.
Don't worry about Patrick Tapping because I saw him last week and me and him had a discussion about Spurs.
I think he's been a bit disingenuous there.
Patrick Tapping only talks when Spurs is winning. Either side of that, you don't hear from him. Or
he's on the show every week talking. What
did he say about? That Conte had to go the other week?
Anyway, sticks and stones. You know that story?
Never hurt me.
And this is what Pogba thinks about your comment. He posted this.
They love me both weeks. I'm getting paid.
Absolutely.
And he should be embarrassed.
Why should he be embarrassed?
Money.
Why?
Because he ain't performing.
Do you mean he's embarrassed to get the money? That's his contract.
He's not performing. He should be.
He's not performing. Neither is Man United. The whole team's not performing.
The whole of them. Apart from De Gea, everybody else shouldn't get paid.
No, you know what? Guess what? You've been playing Pogba in the wrong position, mate. Pogba is not a centre midfielder. Never has been. All right.
So where is he supposed to play then?
Pogba's always played to the left or right centre midfield, mate. All right? And that's
even when he plays there, he doesn't perform.
Sorry.
What are you talking about? His best games have been in that position.
I've seen him play some really good games. He's not a central midfield player.
Yeah, all right.
What you see? What your boys do? You think that Fred and McTominay, even Fluid Iri's laughing. You think Fred and McTominay?
He's not the only one laughing.
Now, sports. Manchester United.
That
week.
just works.
Show him.
It just
Show him the one
works.
that he done with Chelsea during the week. Show the one that he done with Chelsea during the week when he
Actually,
played Arsenal.
Actually, we've got clips. I know you didn't watch all the matches. You was getting ready for work the following day. So this is a scene from Ernie's house on Tuesday night, just after the score. He knew he had to turn up on Friday.
He takes great pride in. He sorts out all these bits and pieces, and takes great pride in showing.
It's show business, Ernie. It's show business.
Enjoy yourself. It took you 30 years to get to this point. Enjoy it while you can.
No,
we're talking about the here and now, Ernie.
No,
Robbo's, listen,
no, it's not taking 30 years.
How long?
No.
How long's it taken, Sean?
Right, since Klopp's coming to the club, it's taken them 5 years to get, and you know it's going to take Ten Hag the same amount of time, right?
How long has it taken Liverpool to get
Liverpool, Ernie?
Right, how long has it taken them to get this point? It took you lot 56 years.
Take us
how long has it taken?
We won, but Liverpool won 2 European Cups in between, so they must have been doing bits.
Exactly.
I'm talking about
they done the treble in
the
2001.
Holy Grail was the
They done the treble
Premiership.
in 2001.
The Holy
They
Grail
done the
was
treble
the
in
Premiership.
2001.
What?
They've done a treble in 2001.
Who?
Liverpool.
Liverpool won a treble in
Gerard Houllier.
2001. When did they win it before that? The Premiership. When did they win it before that?
This is what I'm saying.
Same thing all the time. Your fallback position is always history. But guess what? Deal with the here and now. Deal with the here and now. Because you've not won nothing in 5 years.
Chelsea's got a little squeeze. Chelsea's got a little squeeze because when I look on the Premiership, I do see Chelsea's name.
If we're insisting
on
on talking history, don't forget to remember it took Manchester United 26 years to win the league.
After that, look on the
20 boom. So
look on the
6 years. You do the same thing,
Robbo's killing him, man.
You live in a glass house.
Let's go now.
Throw stones. Yeah? You live in a glass house, mate. Don't throw stones. Stop doing it.
You have to put up a helpline. You have to put up a helpline thing, mate, because you're in trouble this week.
Boom.
You're in
I keep
trouble
on
this
telling
week.
you,
You've got
we're
more
not brought up
incentive
on this
devices to
program
come. I'm
every
sure I
week,
can see
something
Robbo's
is
face.
wrong.
He's got something else coming.
No, I haven't. I'm done with Ernie. Now we got a serious show to do. So
Crystal is coming now. Crystal said she'll be able to join us for the second half of the show.
Yes.
Right, so say hello to Crystal when she does turn up.
you can say hello to Crystal now, and you can also, guys, if you're out there, please smash the like button. It really helps in the show. I see I can see 19 here and a few on Facebook. If you just hit that like button, it would help us.
Voice of reason.
Yeah, the voice of reason.
When Crystal comes, I want to know what happened with Lewis Hamilton, how he comes to Chelsea.
You got 5 guys, right, with a combined age of 300, right, shouting and screaming, right, with no sense of direction.
What's Dr. C saying? What's this GGMU? What's that?
Something Man United, isn't it?
Yeah, what's that?
Glory, Man United.
All right, Dr. C. It's
an ancient saying.
Tony Irish.
He's a Liverpool fan, so he expects.
You know that. Behave yourself, Tony Irish.
Why does he have to behave himself? It's a football show. Just take it on the chin, Ernie. Take it on the chin.
You see what I say?
I remember one time, right?
Black Lives Matters.
You was giving Robbo Ranks, right, some unnecessary stick, right? I remember this time, sometime last year, he was just killing him. And you know when he was killing him? So I tell you when he was killing him? When Liverpool lost 6 home games in a row. Do you remember, Robbo? Do you remember?
I remember, and the seagulls and all of that stuff.
Right? And I said to him, right?
Be careful for what you say.
They then got to the Europa League final, right? Right? I think I didn't do the show leading up to that final. I tried to call Ernie, right, at 10 to 10 after the 21st kick had gone awry.
The battery was dead.
You can't get hold of him. You can't
The
get
battery
hold
was
of him.
dead.
Right?
My
So
battery
Ernie,
was dead.
as I told you before.
Oh God, listen, it's only going to get worse.
Hey, here he comes. Here he comes.
It's going to get worse. Good. I'm glad it's going to get worse for you.
Oh, here he comes.
Well,
Here he
listen,
comes.
we're going to change the narrative for a little while. I did say to Spursy
Sesame
Ernie, he said that he's going to
Street.
join us half an hour in, and I said, listen, come with your A game because we have a problem with this top four. Obviously, Man United don't want it. They don't know what they want.
Arsenal don't want it. Spurs don't want it.
Well, Arsenal doing their best to keep up in the race, but Spurs, who's got their hands like this, firmly on the fourth place. Could you do a Spursy slip there, bro? Ern?
Who?
You.
Tottenham.
He's talking to you, Ern. He's
Ern,
talking to
it's
you.
you, mate.
Listen.
He's talking to you, bro.
I said
let's
Spursy
get
Ern.
one
Ern.
thing straight, yeah?
Give us this straight,
I said
mate.
already. I said already we're gonna make third, didn't I? We're
Third?
gonna make third.
Third.
Yeah.
We're talking about fourth. You're talking
said
about
fourth.
third.
No, you
Yeah,
don't
bro.
know.
You lot are worried about
Ernie,
it.
I worry about you, Ern.
Ernie, no,
Something
let
on
him
your
have his
chin.
say. He's entitled to
Gillette
have his
must be in
say.
your house. Take
No,
your
he's
time with
entitled to
that,
have his
bro.
say. No, he's
Jesus.
entitled. Ern says, you heard what he said. He's entitled to have his say.
Third.
That Spurs are going to finish third. The floor's yours, bruv. The floor's yours.
Listen. Okay, so look, I'm not saying we're gonna finish third. I'm saying we're gonna fight for third. Yeah?
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
I tell you what, yeah. If I would love to play Chelsea on that pitch they've got at the moment, because that pitch is dreadful, mate. I tell you what, hey, it costs you a lot. It's gonna cost you a lot of points, that pitch, Sean.
But you played us on it twice and you still got licks.
True.
So there you go, Ern. Keep quiet, son. Keep quiet, mate.
It's another pitch now, Ern. It's another pitch now.
It's gone quiet over there. It's gone quiet. It's gone quiet.
One thing,
What went wrong on the weekend?
I respect you, man. You're such a nice guy, really. But come on, stay in
Ern.
lane.
Brighton. I mean, I threw all my chips. I threw my bench boost.
Yeah.
I threw my free hit. I threw everything on Tottenham. That was a guaranteed 3 points against Brighton.
Yeah.
The way you're playing, form, what happened?
Do you know what? Yeah. A broken clock works twice a day, innit? So let's get one thing straight, yeah. I wasn't too worried about the result. I'll tell you why. Because sometimes when you get slaps, you have to realize that, I can get hit. And that game there was essentially what I'm talking about. Because everyone thought we was gonna. Good evening, man. Everyone thought that we was gonna smash Brighton up. So did I, to be honest. Even Graham Potter's dad thought we'll smash them as well. To be honest, if you check the game, he came to the game thinking, do you know what, boy, I don't know what it's gonna be today. But Conte said something during the build-up. He says, if you can't win, you just don't lose. Do you know what I mean? And we lost in it through a bit of a sloppy play. But look, that's gone. It's not bothering me that. What's really going to make this thing beautiful is the fact that when we play on Saturday against a tricky side, because out of all our run-ins, I think Brentford's the toughest game out of all of them. Yeah, because Brentford, they're annoying, innit? Little dingy stadium, 20,000 or 200 people in the stadium.
I think the Arsenal game is going to be a problem, mate, not Brentford.
Arsenal, no, it'll be done by then. It'll be done by then. It won't be another. No, they ain't going to catch us.
Arsenal, remember, no outside catering, yeah?
And listen, I'm telling you, right? I'm not even ruling out Man United. Right? I'm not even ruling out Man United. Because if Man United win tomorrow, guess what? They're back in the hunt, bro.
Oh, yeah, if we win back.
Man United, listen. Man United and Arsenal, that's got draw written all over it.
Yeah, definite.
I rule out Man United. I'm
not.
I rule out Man United.
You got to rule them out, innit?
No.
No?
You see, that is
not with Maguire there. Listen, I know Daddy Ernie's been giving Maguire some pelters.
You see what we said earlier about certain teams in the top half of they think they've got a divine right to win. You got to earn the right to win, right? That's why Chelsea has slipped up on 2 banana skins, thinking that, we're playing Brentford and not beaten Chelsea since 1939 at Stamford Bridge. That's an easy 3 points. When I turned on, listen, I had to sit in a darkened room for about 8 hours, yeah? I couldn't believe the result, yeah?
But I think with Manchester United, Manchester United has just displayed, they've just given up. Out of all the teams that used to be leveled at Spurs. Spurs have taken some hits this season and they've come back. Their bounce backs have been tremendous. if you look at the bounce backs for Man United, they've just not been really. Even Arsenal have displayed good returns after being beaten.
Man United season, Cristiano Ronaldo. I'm telling you.
Yeah,
Don't write that youth off. Don't write that youth off. All right.
No.
Yeah,
I think
I have to big up the Liverpool fans, by the way, for that 7-minute team.
yeah, what they did, yeah.
That's big.
Big respect. Big respect.
That was
for
big.
that.
That was big.
That was big. That was big. That was big.
And we
Well
got
done,
and we
well
got and we got to say something about the Man City fans who totally disrespected the Hillsborough silence.
You have to get all the top cat for that
Yeah.
one and ask him what happened there.
What happened there? Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So come back to Ern and Tottenham. Ern, this is what you got, right? You got Liverpool away and Arsenal home in consecutive games. You really think you'll get 6 points out of that?
I think we'll get some from Liverpool game for sure.
Liverpool.
Yeah. You know, shall I tell you why? I'll tell you why. Because if you check it, the team that Liverpool, obviously, you got to weather the storm when you play Liverpool for the first 30 minutes. If you don't weather that storm, it's nights out. But I've seen enough because I think personally, Man City is a better team than Liverpool. I don't care what anyone says. Man City can do what Liverpool does. Liverpool can't do what Man City does, which is actually keep the ball and make you get tired as because they can keep the ball for about an hour. Liverpool are like rock and roll, innit?
So they're just good at keeping the ball. Doesn't mean they're going to win games.
But listen, you lot play a massively high line. Styles win fights, and you guys are built for us. If you check it, as long as you stop Kane, I don't know who's going to stop Son, and I have no idea who's going to stop my boy Kulusevski. Gimme. I know you've seen him, but
Listen, I think Liverpool would have by that game would have worked out how to play Spurs with the high line. They've played all the teams who try to punch at the high line, and they've worked them out. They're second in the
Who's
table.
that?
Liverpool. They've worked them out.
Who's played the high line against? Who's played the high? No one played the high line against Liverpool.
Season. We played the high line when we
you
were.
watch the Carabao Cup final, right?
Yeah.
Liverpool played a hard line against us, and I'm telling you, right? If we had our shooting boots on, right?
You would have won the game, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Even Robert has got to say that.
Yeah,
right?
No, you would have won the game.
That game should have been outside.
What I'm saying to you, that front three that Liverpool got are deadly. Trust me.
Yeah.
And even the backup three.
Yes, right. Mane, right, is on fire at this present moment in time.
Yeah.
On fire. And if you can stop that front three, then you may get something out of the game. But I can't see it personally.
You know what? I think Tottenham on their day, if they wanted to, I think they could match Liverpool up front. I think the game will be won in midfield. Because Liverpool don't have footballers in the midfield. Probably Thiago. Let me take that back. Thiago is a footballer. But otherwise than that, everyone's an engine. Everyone just runs around. Everyone's physically fit.
On the show, I said, watch out.
You need
He's
that
going to bite.
He's
back. And he's going to win the league for Liverpool. That is the fact. He's going to win the league for Liverpool.
I'm going to be honest.
Robbo.
He's going to win the league for Liverpool. I'm not.
Robbo.
That's it. I done talk. Say what you want to say. He's winning the league for Liverpool.
You notice the longest period that you've been at the top of the table was last week Saturday, where it was for about an hour.
Ernie, there's a point in it. There's 5 games to go. What are you talking about? Why are you telling about last week Saturday? We're talking about the games to go, Nostradamus.
Yeah, but the game, I have to go back to last.
This man is winning the league and only a point above Liverpool.
Okay, all right.
Right, okay.
Coming back to
If I was the season when that square just says Robbo ranks, we can't see his face, you know.
The team I want to win the league, I want Liverpool to win the league.
Oh,
but Man City, right? Man City are in the driving seat because all they got to do is win 5 games, and there's nothing Liverpool can do. That's what happened to them in 2019. Liverpool matched them point for point.
Sean,
for point.
Sean, mate, I don't want Liverpool to win the league for one reason, mate. They're fans. They make me sick, mate.
You know that.
I can't have them winning. I can't have them win the league.
I'd rather Bournemouth win it than Liverpool.
I'm in a group chat in WhatsApp, yeah, and I've got some proper
I'm gonna play Chris.
Like giving it large, mate, and I want to knock them out.
Man City's game have got Leeds, Watford this Saturday. They've got Fluid this Saturday after. That's in April. Then in May, they've got Newcastle, West Ham away, and Aston Villa at home. Can you see Man City losing any of those games?
The one I think
Man City's going to go and beat
them. The one I think they could lose.
West Ham,
is to Leeds United. They could lose to Leeds United.
So come on, mate. Sean, come on, mate.
I think if anything,
No way.
They slipped up there before. They slipped up
No
there before.
way.
Last year,
going on a
Leeds
waste.
went to Man City and beat them at their own patch. They did.
With 10 men.
Right? It can happen. Bro.
And
Listen,
currently,
they will go
currently
unbeaten.
the top team on form, I think, is Man City, then Liverpool, then Leeds United.
I think
Not
Liverpool
Spurs.
are on form more than Man City. Liverpool's the form team.
Right?
Yeah, but
The only
I
thing
think,
what
I think
stopped
Leeds are
Liverpool
third.
doing the only thing will stop Liverpool doing the Grand Slam is if Man City win all their games.
Okay, so
I
that's the Man City
now,
games. Now
Liverpool-
for Robbo,
I think Liverpool
Robbo's
will beat
team,
Man City in the European Cup final.
Robbo's team, his games he's got left for the rest of April. He's got the Merseyside derby on Sunday, which really I can't
He'll
see
win
him
that.
not winning that.
They'll win that.
They've
Everton.
got Newcastle away, who are at home and on a winning streak.
I think that's our toughest game, Newcastle
That's a
away.
tough
It'll be a challenge. Then they
I don't
got
think it's a
What did
Spurs
you say,
game.
Robert? You taking the mick?
No, honestly, I'm not. I
You,
don't.
you know you're playing us.
I think Liverpool. By the time we get to you, we're putting you away. We'll have our Champions League game out of the way. The Newcastle game in between the Champions League game is the game. Listen, guys, remember
Nah,
I told you.
You know what?
That's the game Liverpool can
You're
come
not
on.
you're not playing the same Tottenham that you've always played in the past now. You know, this is Conte's having a rough idea with some of the people he's got now. So I don't think it's going to be easy.
We
I
know
think it's
that
going to be harder than the game against the Man United.
Listen, I think the game we played you were a better team then. I don't think you're a better
Who
team.
was?
now. You were a better team then.
Who was? We was.
2-2.
You was a better team, or we was?
No, you were a better team.
Yeah,
Two
we
to
was,
one,
we was, and lucky for you, should have lost that. But we will play a massive role in this league. I said
No,
it already.
Anfield.
We smashed Man City twice. We gave you a chance.
Not
Now
at
we're
all.
coming to
we've
you
got
guys.
that-
If
we've
you're
got those two
grateful,
worked out, then we've got those two lots worked out. So if Man City are capable of winning all them games, they'll win the league, right? Sean's already said that he reckons Liverpool for the Champions League.
Yeah, I think so.
yeah, I think they win the
Villarreal
Champions
make it
League.
easy.
I
I
actually
don't
think
think
City
City-
win the
I-
Champions League.
I think City wins the Champions League and Liverpool win the league.
They're a different animal in Europe,
I
mate.
personally think, right, it's going to be a Liverpool Real Madrid final.
Would you take that, Robbo? Would you take the league over the Champions League?
Of course they will. Of course
No,
they
the
will.
league.
I'd want the league.
I
Yeah,
told
because
you.
they've only won the Premiership once. They've won it one more than us.
No,
With Leeds and
Listen,
Blackburn
hang
and
on.
Leicester.
That was hard, man.
Ernie, they've been
True,
English
don't it?
champions.
Huh?
Don't worry, this Premiership
I'd
man.
rather be champions of Europe, right, than the champions of my own league any day, mate. Any
No,
day.
I'd want Liverpool to win the league.
Nah, you
Sean.
don't. Nah, you
Sure.
don't.
Sure,
because
you
Liverpool,
know
if
as
you
well
check
as I
it,
do. Hold on, Ern. You know as well as I do, the holy grail for Liverpool was that Premiership. That was the holy
They've won
grail.
it. They've won
We've
it.
done it. We've done
I know.
it. And move on.
But they
nah, son of a true champion is winning it again, mate.
Win it. We want to win
winning
it again.
and being able to celebrate it because they never celebrated that
Forget the
last one.
celebrating early. We just want to win it again. And I
right.
would. If listen, if we face,
Win it a few,
if we-
you
listen,
win it 13 times again.
listen. This is how I look at it. If we face Real Madrid
You beat them.
in the Champions League final,
You beat them.
then I just want Champions League. If I knew that we're going to face Real Madrid, but we don't know because it's at the back end of the season. If we faced Manchester City in the Champions League, I'd want to. I wouldn't skin up if we lost to Manchester City, but beat them to the league. I would be good with that.
You could
Oh,
be joking.
I'd be happy.
I don't want Man City winning that European Cup at all, mate. Not at all.
That's the other thing there.
Hey, it might happen though, Sean.
And we don't
Sure, it might
want
happen.
Liverpool winning the Premier League.
We can't leave
But
that.
anyway.
We can't leave out. Listen, we can't
Come
leave
on,
that
City.
fluid. We can't leave that fluid. He's already said that Leeds are the top, one of the top teams who are in form at the
On
moment.
form right now.
They've
That's
got,
you,
they've
Lewis.
got Crystal Palace. They've got Crystal Palace on Saturday, and then they've got Man
Who are
City.
3 points ahead of us. Everybody's rating up Crystal Palace. They're actually 3 points ahead of Leeds.
Then they've got Man City. Then they've got Arsenal. Then they've got us. Then they've got Brighton and Brentford.
Surely they're safe though.
They're
Oh,
safe,
they're safe. Yeah, they're safe. They've got 36
I think so.
points.
but
No,
they
they've got
can be
23.
spoilers.
They've got
They
If we
can be
get 4
spoilers.
points, then we're not getting caught. I
They
want to
can
see
be
Where's them,
Everton
4
go
points,
down.
where's them 4 points coming from, Fluid?
That's a really
Palace.
good question. Palace, I
It's gotta
think
be the City
we're gonna
game.
get at least one from them.
It's got to be
I
the
think
City
we've
game.
got, we've got Brighton as well.
I wanted to be under pressure until the City game.
The City game. I don't think it'll be the City game.
I think it will be.
Where,
I think it will
where are you
be.
going to get the points from? Tell me where you're going to get those points.
Brighton's one, definitely, I believe.
You know,
And I think we might. We've actually got a good record against Palace.
So you reckon Brighton and Palace? That's where you're going to get the points.
I think we only need a win and a draw, so something can go on. Chelsea are there for a drawing.
Well, the Man City game is next weekend. Leeds, you're at home to Man City. Straight after that, you have the following week. You have Arsenal. So if you don't get your points at Leeds, you have to go to Arsenal, and then you face obviously Chelsea at home, and you could be down to probably the Brighton.
Could get
down to probably the Brighton game before you see some points. So please get those points against Man City. Get those points against Man City. Job done.
Look at the way he's setting you up there.
Behind us, we have Burnley. We have Norwich and Watford.
Burnley's a different proposition.
Everton.
New manager bounce.
Don't worry about nothing.
They're bouncing.
Yeah, they've got their little one game. Southampton are one of them teams with nothing to play for. That's why they beat them. Yeah, that's usual. They had nothing to play for. And by the way, I just thought I would mention, because being a big Leeds fan, Leeds United are playing Manchester City's under 23s at Ellen Road tonight, and there's a crowd of 18,000. And that's about as many people that walk out at halftime at Old Trafford.
Yeah.
Patrick Tapping's on form.
I'll get to Patrick Tapping's thing, but just on that Burnley suggestion, they beat Burnley. They're at home to Wolves on Sunday. Burnley are away to Watford. I can see 6 points there.
Wolves beat them.
And they face Aston Villa, a very out of form Aston Villa after that. They're easily winnable and drawable games. They'll get points there, Burnley.
If you beat Everton on Sunday, which I think you will, they will be under serious pressure.
Everton under pressure.
They'll be under pressure.
I think Everton's the team that will be under pressure. I think the pressure's off Burnley. Burnley's got to do is just play their game under their new manager. The team that's got the pressure, you're right, Lewis, is Everton.
Everton under pressure.
And Frank's not used to them kind of pressure. Frank can't hold that.
Anyway, just to fire back at Ernie about Liverpool fans, Hassani says, nah, mate. Tottenham fans, they're all delusional. You must be right. You must be right. All this rubbish about Liverpool winning 4 trophies, grow up. They're not going to win anything this season, anything else.
Patrick Tapping, is he a Spurs geezer, is he?
The Spurs supporter.
All the way.
You know him. You see him,
Patrick Tapping, right, in the 4 games that we played him this season, it's Chelsea 8, Spurs 0. Yeah? Take the Haaland corner and relax.
No, don't upset. I like Ern. I like Ern.
But I don't like these comments. Right, man's hiding behind a computer, can't see him. You know.
Do you know what? Yeah.
Come on screen. You know what I mean?
We're getting pelters on. My Spurs family is getting pelters on this show.
You're getting
very
murdered
disrespectful.
out here,
I tell you why. Because I think nearly everybody. No, we haven't beat Chelsea, have we? We didn't beat Man United either.
You had 4 goals, Ern. You had 4 goals. You couldn't do it.
Cool. We ain't beat any. Oh, we beat Leeds. Yeah, that was light work.
Yeah,
it was light work. But guess what?
That's when they had injuries.
Yeah, and Leeds have experience of polishing trophies in this sometime in this decade.
Ouch.
No talk about that.
Let me put this question. I'm going to start with the Chelsea fan, Sean and Lewis. Let me start with Sean. You have history in appointing and exiting managers. Now we 48 hours after losing 4-0 to Liverpool, Manchester United went on social media and posted that this man will be joining their club, new manager. Can I ask you, Sean, do you think that is good timing? I mean, you know about timing. Is that good timing? Do you think that was crazy timing? What do you reckon?
I think that smacks a bit of desperation in relation to the fact that we've now got a settled sort of policy in relation to what we're going to be doing for next season. I personally think, right, they've got to back him in the transfer market, and they've got to give him at least 5 years to turn Man United round. Because if they think he's going to come in, right, and win trophies next season, then they're going to be delusional, right? Right, they've got to treat him just like how they treated Alex Ferguson for the first 4 years.
Even Fergie took 5 years.
They've got to treat him like how Liverpool treated Jurgen Klopp for the first 4 years, right? And let's see where he is.
I agree, and I think the whole thing about the Manchester aura has gone.
Nah.
Let's be honest.
Nah, look at that head. Look at that head. That's aura. It's got 2 heads.
I'm saying about the Manchester.
That's Ten Hag, man.
At least he don't wear a cap like your.
How much heads is there? Is there 2 or 3? I can't
At
see.
least he doesn't wear a cap like your manager.
I haven't got my glasses on. How many coaching hats has he got on?
Robbo, give him a break, man. Jeez, give him a break. So coming back to Man United, right?
Yeah.
The reality is they have to accept that they're not the Ferguson Man United that was.
Well,
They're in transition. Hang on, Ern, hold on.
Chill, man.
This is your chance, Ern. This is your chance as a United club to give a man enough time to turn the ship around and to get him back to where he should be. Will he get that chance? Will Ten Hag get that chance?
Yes.
I hope he does, for the sake of, just being honest and fair play. But I think...
Do you remember... Can I just interject? Do you remember how successful Frank de Boer was at Ajax? Remember?
Yeah, and he came to Palace.
How many weeks was it? 3 weeks?
No, what did they do? What did they do? The man won the league 3 times in a row with Ajax. They then brought him to Crystal Palace. He lasted 5 games, sacked. They then brought him to, where was it? Was it Barcelona? How long did he last there? So, it's no guarantee, but they've got to give this man time.
They've got to give Ten Hag time. And his
I don't think they give him 5. I think they need to give him 10 years because he's got 2 heads.
No.
10.
No.
It's all right. In a few years' time, your manager gone, Robert, and that's it done. Is that
it, Nostradamus? And that's it done.
Yeah, Ernie, if he does go,
Hussein Stevenson, you need to get a life.
Sani.
Why do you need to get a life? He's commenting, son.
Yeah, but you need to get a life.
Ernie, if Klopp goes, guess what? He'll be going on his own terms, mate. Yeah. He'll be going on his own terms.
Well, what you got to think about, Liverpool have got a succession plan in place already. You know that.
Who's that?
They've got a succession plan in place for
Klopp. Who's taking over from Klopp?
Who's at Aston Villa?
Aston Villa, mate.
Who's at Aston Villa? He's coming in.
What, the one who fell over against you lot? The one who fell over against you.
The player. Oh, jeez.
The one who fell over against you lot.
What's he falling over? And what?
Coming over.
Ernie, you're loose, man. You're loose. You ain't got nothing to say, man.
You can't be falling over and handing people the champion.
But in answer to your question, Robbo, give Ten Hag time, and he'll get them back or thereabouts. But it's going to take.
He should do. He should do. But remember,
guess who's coming back to United? Guess who's coming back to United? Danny Van Der Beek. He's coming back, bro.
Well, from what I remember, from what I'm hearing, he played quite well for Ten Hag.
Yeah.
Maybe Ten Hag knows how to play him.
He plays in Pogba's position.
Maybe he knows how to play him.
That is a whole turnaround. If you look at Ajax,
as far as I'm concerned,
next season,
I'm still out.
Man United have got to keep hold of Cristiano Ronaldo. They've got to keep hold of him. But it's going to be a big problem because you're going to have 2 egos, right, in one camp. And guess what? There can only be one winner.
Yeah. Well, listen, at this moment in time, right, pardon me, I'm still on the fence with Ten Hag. I don't know enough about him to say he's going to be the saviour or that. But can he be any worse than the last 4 managers we got? I don't think so. I don't think.
Yeah,
but the other Dutch manager was a decent
one
manager.
Won the FA Cup, and one won the Europa League and the League Cup. So
yeah, but for Man United, that's not enough, and you got to win it with a certain.
For Man United, pardon?
I mean, Jose Mourinho, he won us that thing, but there was a whole heap of confusion in the side, bro.
For Man United, that's not enough.
No, it's not.
Oh, okay.
You're talking about the first team who won the treble.
Yeah, but you got to remember your hat. You can't hang your hat up there anymore, and you got to know.
Yeah, you mean you lot always talking about Dalglish? I mean, Chelsea ain't got no one to talk about really. Robbo, when he's ready, talks about Dalglish and then Monday. You know what I mean?
Hey, I'm on the football show. I'm dealing with the here and now, brother. Here and now.
Don't you speak about Dalglish? You never speak about Dalglish yet.
No.
What are you talking about, bro?
Do you know?
Check-
See, Ten Hag.
Rewind the
Memory
tapes.
lapse.
Ernie,
You got
Ten Hag
memory
is
lapse.
about 6
Ernie.
years.
Ernie,
Yeah.
stop taking those nostalgic pills because you keep on taking them, bro.
Yeah, just keep with the state with the blue ones, man.
You cannot move forward. You
Stop
can't move
taking
forward
those
unless you know your
nostalgic pills.
history.
Because you're
You
yamming them out.
cannot
and
move
it's-
forward
Right?
unless you know your history. You have to know
That's
your
true.
history before you can move
We're
forward,
not interested
That's
in
true,
history.
Daddy.
right? Oh, you know what I mean? You have to know your history before you
Don't
can move
humor
forward.
don't humor him. Stop humoring it. Don't humor him.
He's
Don't
right, though,
humor
isn't he? No,
I mean, the man who phones me today from the West End and says, Chris Sweeney wants to talk to me because I've been hiding. Him, Sean Wallace, from the West End, went down the West End to see his brethren, Chris Sweeney, who in total said to him, I am hiding. Chris Sweeney knows where I live. He can come around my house.
Yeah, but Ernie, do you think that the
Gerrard is
the
not ready yet.
conversation we're having with you about Man United, do you think it's justifiable, or do you think that it's banter? How does it work out in your head? Because I'm trying to understand.
Well, it's
It's
not
a football
listen,
show.
It's not, yeah, but it's not justifiable because I told you from a long time that my team is, for the want of a better word, cack. I told you that from a long time, right?
Yeah,
So-
no, but I'm not
Right,
interested in
no,
what you
just
told
find
me.
out. Just
We
find out.
are.
Nothing
We
different
listen when
about
we
that.
come here. Hang on. We come here
Yeah,
and we
yeah,
watch the games. We look for solutions and a
There's none. At the
better
moment, there's no
understanding.
solution.
You cannot come. You listen. You can't sit here saying, "I told you they're cack," and then start talking about history. There's a big empty space in your conversation. I told you they're cack, and then you mention history. What about the here and now?
They're cack. Here
Won
and
the
now, they're
World Cup
cack.
for France. Right?
Huh?
You signed with Varane. Right? What are you looking at me like that for?
No, I've never heard what you said.
Rafael Varane is a World Cup winner. He came
Yeah.
from Real Madrid. Yeah?
Yeah,
He
yeah.
came from Real Madrid. Paul
Yeah.
Pogba is a World Cup winner. Right?
With Kante.
Right.
With
And
Kante.
stop telling me, right, that you told us all along that Manchester United cack.
didn't.
This season, I told you that they're cack. This
Last
season,
this season.
last season, I never told them because we
You signed
finished
Varane
second
last
last season.
August. You signed
Start
Varane last
this
August.
season. Start this season.
We-
Everybody
You
thought
signed Varane
United
last
would be
August,
first
bro.
in the top
Yeah,
three.
everybody thought. I never said that they were
You
going to
did. You were
finished
voting that you finished second. You said we
Last
finished
season,
There was
above
some
you.
big talk.
It was big
when
talk last
Cristiano
season.
arrived.
You finished second. You bought Varane. You bought Jadon Sancho.
He's a
You
World
had
Cup
chat.
winner.
Cristiano.
Everybody remembers Ernie.
Oli,
Where are
sorry,
you now? You're
Oli,
whining
it's
about
Oli,
Pogba and
Oli,
Maguire.
sport, mate.
Ernie, I was on one of the first shows in August, right? I was in one of the first shows, right? You was waxing lyrical about Varane this, Cristiano Ronaldo that. What we're going to say?
You got trouble, Ern.
Come on,
You
do
got
you
trouble.
remember? Do you remember?
I remember. That's what he can't remember.
Cristiano
Now you're
Ronaldo's
telling
been
me-
all right.
Now you're telling me, right? You didn't want to.
He's gone. He's gone.
That's right.
He's gone. He's
That's
gone.
right.
All of a sudden,
Clear up. And listen, guys in the chat, guys in the chat, and guys in the chat, and guys on the show. Welcome the lovely Crystal Davis, Talawati in the house. You see,
Yes.
this is what I'm talking about. The show gets much better now. Crystal, wow,
Crystal.
Ernie's disappeared.
Nothing. Good evening, guys. I've been watching. Wow.
Oh,
What a show.
Crystal, man. Crystal, well
Crystal, can
done.
you work it out? There's a bit in between where he talks
Chelsea
about
people for
history.
me.
He talks about history, Crystal, and then there's a bit where he just says we're rubbish. So I'm trying to work out because I'm trying to understand what the problem is here.
Yeah, it's
And now all of a
something.
sudden,
Talk to our Chelsea friends, Crystal. Talk to the Chelsea friend, them.
all of a sudden, it's 2G internet's gone down. Right? It's 2G internet's gone down. What's going on? He's a joker, bro. He's a joker.
Where did he go? Because I can't even see him in the
He's
studio.
got
Crystal.
can't manage
Yeah,
it.
Crystal,
that is.
Crystal,
Robert,
he's on 2G.
Crystal, with the amount of letters Robbo's set for him this week,
He's on
boy. Robbo's
2G
set
and his
for him this
internet,
week.
and it's gone down.
No. He's living so far in the past. He's on dial-up.
Listen, if anybody should be running, listen, if
Somebody's
anybody
using the
should be
phone.
running,
That's cold.
if anybody should be running
Anyway,
this chat, it's
Crystal,
me.
it's a
Yeah.
great day to have you back on the show because you got two.
Thank you.
We've discussed the Chelsea situation, obviously losing to Arsenal, but let's look at Arsenal going forward. Bumps, wins, bumps, win, but can you possibly make it with these last few games? Can you see you beating Man United and getting into that, stopping Man United especially and Tottenham from that fourth place?
I think the Arsenal should just focus on their own race. They can't really be looking at what Manchester United are doing or looking at what Tottenham are doing. I still think that it's a possibility that it's going to go down to the wire. Still can't call it as to who's going to finish in the top 4, because last week against Brighton, I don't think anyone predicted that Spurs would fumble, right? Whether you want to call it Spursy or not, I don't think that they would have fumbled against Brighton. And yesterday, is it yesterday? Well, the other night when we played against Chelsea, maybe some can say the scoreline is not that surprising in terms of the number of times that Mikel Arteta has squared up against who is it? Is it Tuchel? Tuchel would have had
both of them.
Eddie and scored 2 goals. Mate,
yeah, former Chelsea man at that. But I think if you looked at their lineup, when I was looking at social media just before kickoff, when you looked at the lineup, you got the sense that maybe should have kept things more of the same. And I don't really think you're too surprised with the full-time scoreline. But it was an entertaining game. You would have imagined that you'd have seen that many goals at Stamford Bridge, given that Arsenal went into the game on the back end of a couple losses in their back pocket. So it was a good result, but we can't get ahead of ourselves and say because we beat third place Chelsea, then we'll put away Manchester United, because last game don't matter no more. Last game is just irrelevant now. You have to focus on beating Manchester United, and that's an even taller ask because it's a lunchtime kickoff. Not really sure why.
Taller ask against Manchester United as opposed to Chelsea at Stamford Bridge?
I think it is. A taller ask because they're probably going to be under even more pressure now to try and get 2 wins on the bounce. You're playing on lunchtime kickoff. Lunchtime kickoff hasn't worked in Arsenal favor. Likewise, it hasn't worked in Manchester United favor as well. So now they're probably going to be feeling even more pressure. If they lost against Chelsea, perhaps they probably would have been thinking, it is what it is. Our season is done and out. But now they've got a little bit of fight in them. So it's down to them to come and deliver.
We're looking forward to that. It's going to kick off the weekend. Just going back to that Chelsea game, because Sean said he was at the game. Sean, there was an incident that happened where Azpilicueta, he's leaving the club, but I saw more passion in that conversation with the fans. I mean, what was that all about? Did you know what that conversation was having with the fans?
They was berating him for giving a penalty away. Listen, okay, it was a clumsy challenge, and basically. Once you give away a penalty, you're losing 3-2. There's no way back. And I thought the fans were wrong to basically have a go at him, basically point the finger at him for giving away a penalty. When, as I say, he got the equaliser that brings us back to 2-2. I think Chelsea were just not at the races. But in saying that, I thought Arsenal were absolutely superb from the minute they kicked off. Right, they took the game to Chelsea. Right, okay, you can blame the pitch, but I think that's just a lame excuse. Because that attempted of a back pass by Christensen, he was in front of Ketia. He was in front. He had 5 years. He had 5 yards on him, and because he misplaced that pass, all of a sudden he stumbled and he's forward. He did the same thing in the 2020 FA Cup final when they scored the winning goal. He did the exact same thing. All of a sudden,
it's the same MO though, Sean. It's the same MO when we play Arsenal all of the time. We start off. It's like a toe-to-toe, and we give them an opportunity, and then they grow in confidence, and that's what happened. The game was pretty even. Even Stephen the first 15 or so minutes. Then we make the mistake, and then you see a different Arsenal because they changed formation about 2 or 3 times during the game.
There's only one reason why you lost that game.
At the end of the first half, though, at the end of the first half, how I don't know who it was. I don't know which player it was. How he missed that chance to make it 3-2 at half time. Because he had a clear goal and he just put it wide.
That was Smith Rowe.
Yeah, and I thought to myself, we're not learning. And I thought to myself,
I wasn't confident that we're going to win that.
Listen, guys, listen.
I thought that.
I'm in the stands. I'm thinking to myself.
There's only one reason why you lost that game. Rudiger. Rudiger was there. The game would have been done. Because the goal that Arsenal scored that day was borderline laughable. It wasn't real.
Too many changes.
But Ern, when you look at the game against Real Madrid, right, when we're pushing, right, he slipped, right, and my guy didn't do anything the entire game. All of a sudden, Rudiger slipped, right, and what's his name? Benzema puts the winning goal in.
Benzema.
So things like
but look at it, Rudiger. Yeah,
Rudiger's a quality defender. He's a quality defender. It's a quality. Yeah, but look, that's what I'm trying to say to you, right? You can't basically say that if we had Rudiger, those goals wouldn't have gone in because of the say we lost 3-1 to Real Madrid and he was in the team.
Yeah, right? But listen, Sean, mate, you're missing the key factor here. Rudiger's up. He's up against Eddie and Nketiah. Don't give them too much love, you know.
If you've got young players, listen, Rudiger in the 2020 final was up against some other. Who was he up against? He was up against an informed Aubameyang. He was up against an informed Lacazette. But
Tuchel took the mick. Listen, you got injuries. Tuchel, his name is. He cost you that game. I don't care what you say.
I think it was definitely the weakened team.
He played Lukaku. We know he doesn't even want to be there. Put your big guys on.
And that's the complacency sometimes. Because sometimes you think, right, we're playing Arsenal. Arsenal lost their last 3 games. You know, guess what? I should be able to put out a strong squad. We're supposed to have strength and depth. I'm supposed to put like for like, and they're supposed to come in and do the business, right? But if those players are not playing regularly and they're not on the game, guess what? Arsenal were hungry. Arsenal were from the minute they kicked off to the minute they were celebrating, right? And when the 4th goal.
No, they were hungry. I tell you, they got hungry when they saw the team sheet. No ifs or buts about it. Because
coming back to the point about Azpilicueta, Robbo. Yeah. For me, that shows passion. That shows how much he cares for the club. He's still got one more. He signed for another year because he had a year extension. It's now gone over. So he's
definitely staying another season then.
He's got another season, yeah.
He's not going to Barcelona.
He's not going to Barcelona. Christensen will be gone. But
thank God.
What about Rudiger?
Rudiger. Now, I know you remember I mentioned a few weeks ago.
Rudiger's going.
Yeah,
I disagree with Sean on this. I think Rudiger might stay. And also,
I think he'll stay.
Remember a few weeks ago I mentioned about Reece James? Remember Sean?
Yeah.
Sean mentioned it to me as well.
You think he's gone?
Yeah.
Reece James is a possibility.
Well, I saw Rudiger's reaction after losing to Real Madrid. That man was gutted. And if he was going to Real Madrid, he didn't look like he was happy. He looked like he really wanted it for Chelsea. He tried really hard in the game.
Listen, if you're 3-0 up, if you manage to turn it out 3-1 up with 15 minutes to go, guess what? We're supposed to be playing Man City in the semi-final.
Yeah.
And the one
100%.
thing what Tuchel should have done, right? And it's the same thing sometimes, right? Same thing with Gareth Southgate. If you've got the initiative, take on, stay on the attack.
Yeah.
Keep him on the front foot. But what he did, he took off Werner, right? He tried to shut up shop, and guess what? As I'm sitting there, I think to myself, right? All it's going to do is take one moment of magic, and it was provided by Modric. The minute they equalised, I said to myself, you know, guess what? We're going to be up against it.
Tuchel's got a history of this, though, mate. You know, Tuchel's got a history of bottling it. He has. He loves people. He loves
come on, Earn Spurs. You can't be talking about bottling it. Stop that talk, man.
He did it 4 times, didn't he?
Stop that talk.
Stop that talk. Stop that. Come on. I will gladly say to you that Tottenham have a history of slipping up.
I'll let you say that. I'll let you say that once on the show today. Don't do it again. Yeah. Don't do that again. Right. Red card. All right.
But Tuchel, if you check back his previous PSG, he's done it before, mate. He loves it. But Chelsea's problem is not even. You're missing the key man that I think is underperforming this season. That's Kante. He's smelling the place out lately. I don't know. Let me just
tricky Nicky. I think. Hang on. One second.
Kante is the wrong side of 30. Right. It is hard. He's a brilliant footballer. All right, but it's hard for you to play that style of football which has basically been his style all his life. To be doing that from 30 onwards, it's going to be hard, right?
I guess
I think he's got 2 more good seasons in him, right?
Now he's got 6 weeks, mate.
He's got a World Cup coming up in November, right? If France defend that, right, he's going to be instrumental in doing so. But he's had a lot of injuries. You can't play that.
Yeah, I think he's playing with a lot of injuries.
Yeah. Right? Yeah. High intensity football. The way in which he plays it is very, very difficult once you reach 30.
Yeah, very definitely.
What you say about Tricky Nicky?
Well, I was just going to say, but Ernie's back. But I think that's what that comment is for you, Ernie. But nobody
Nicky's one of Ernie's burner phones. Remember?
Definitely to Ernie, because nobody likes to show off Ernie. All these things are all in cycles. It's Manchester City's time now, but Man United will be has been way off, but they'll be back in the next 30 years. He's definitely a Man United fan. Big up Tricky Nicky.
We'll be back, and I'm sure it won't be 30 years.
It will be 30 years.
It says it won't be 30 years.
Oh, right? So you knew what you wrote then?
I did. Yeah.
Quickly on one more on Chelsea, because we might as well start moving into this weekend. You got West Ham at home on Sunday.
Yeah.
Could be a very tricky game.
They're losing that one.
Tricky game.
How do you feel about it, Lewis?
Well, I hear West Ham haven't got any centre backs. So the centre backs they have, Agbona's out, Zuma's out, and I hear that Diop is out as well now.
Yeah.
So they've got no more centre backs. So am I going to play Rice at the back, and that leaves them open in midfield, or they might play the young Ben Johnson in a 3 or in a 4 at the back. So West Ham are struggling at the back. Also,
but you've got Lukaku, so it evens itself out.
And they've got, hang on, Ern. All right, Ern, hold on, son.
Yeah,
I'll come to you in a minute. So,
What's Patrick Tablet? What's he saying there? Tuchel, the one-season wonder.
Don't worry, but listen, forget Patrick. Coming back to the question, and then you've got. So West Ham have got Frankfurt on Thursday.
Easy, Patrick.
So I reckon we need to win that game. We can't afford to draw. Can't afford to lose. We need to win. So I'm going for a 2-0.
Okay, all right, we got that one out the way. What about you, Sean?
You know what? I'm going to stop watching Chelsea until the cup final because I think I'm a jinx on them.
Do you think you win the game?
That, you lot say to me, see, I'm stopping watching Manchester United for a few weeks now.
You stop watching them from beginning of the season.
One player, there's 2 players I'm worried about for West Ham. That's Gerard Bowen, who I think has been the most improved English player of the season, right? And although he's not scored for 13 games, it wouldn't surprise me if all of a sudden Antonio comes along. We need to keep those guys quiet. I hope that Rudiger's back. I hope that he's in the partnership with.
No, Rudiger's not back. He's out. He's out.
Silva. We need a Rudiger Thiago Silva access. If we can
Rudiger's out. Rudiger's out.
Can you see Antonio bullying Thiago Silva? Thiago Silva looks like he's playing at half cruise now.
Thiago Silva has got 1 eye on November. He's got 1 eye on November, mate. It's his last chance.
Yeah, World Cup
winner. Right?
Remember earlier you were talking about Rashford losing the England place? I think Jared Bowen is the outside tip for that place. If he keeps doing what he's doing, he's the outside pick. In my opinion.
Just to digress about, I still think Southgate's a loyal guy. Southgate's a loyal guy, right? Right. Unless he does a Dele Alli and falls right off the radar, right? Rashford. I think Rashford needs a new challenge now. I think I think he's got to leave, man. He's got to leave Man United.
Leave.
All right. And I personally
to join the church as well.
I would love him to come to Chelsea. I would absolutely love it if he came to Chelsea, but you can't see that.
Too.
He's coming there with Pogba. Anyway, Leeds United, and so Ernie versus Fluid. Ernie supports Crystal Palace now. Shameful. He's on here talking about I support Crystal Palace now. Leeds United versus Crystal Palace. That's not until Monday, but let's talk about it now. Because we have talked about the points that Leeds need to pick up. It's got to start on Monday. And Ernie, for Patrick to finish top 10, he's got to win as well.
Yeah, I think Leeds is there for the taking. All right, they've won a couple of games since this new character.
They're playing good, Ernie.
I can tell you don't watch football, brother.
Palace has been playing good. They've been unfortunate in the last few games that they've lost.
They've not been playing good.
They haven't. Against Newcastle last week, second half, they peppered Newcastle. Newcastle was fortunate to win that game, bro.
They won the game, Ernie.
I said they were fortunate to win that game.
2 charges from Saha at the end of the game. Come on,
but you know,
did you watch the game?
Early on in the season, they would have gone in. They would have gone in.
We're talking about now, here and now. Remember,
Robbo's merciless this week, man. Robbo's merciless.
It's here and now we're talking about. It's about earlier on in the season. Come on.
All right, so you're saying that Patrick Vieira ain't doing a good job at Palace then? Is that
I think he's doing a brilliant job. I'm talking about the game.
What I'm saying
just answer the question. Just answer the question.
Just get it out, son.
They've been unfortunate. I take Palace to win 2-1 at Leeds.
Yeah, it's at their ground.
It's Palace.
Well, make it worse. Make it worse then. 2-1 straight Palace 2-1.
I'm going Leeds 2-1.
Okay.
I'm going Leeds 2-1.
Palace 3-1.
Leeds will win 2-1 because Leeds now can actually defend a little bit better. It's a little bit of defense because Liam, who's not a great player, but a good organizer, is back in the team. Rafinha's got over his honeymoon. Get over his honeymoon. And what Leeds do to teams, for someone who watches them all a while, Leeds in the first half an hour will be flying at Crystal Palace. Palace don't play at that kind of tempo. Leeds will hit them with high tempo for the earlies and then hang on because that's what they do. And then they
missed Calvin Phillips. They missed him.
Yeah, very much so. And guess what?
Yes,
he's back in the team.
I tell you what, I do like.
He's not starting. He ain't gonna start.
Well, I tell you what, I do like about Leeds United. I watched that combination with Rafinha, Harrison,
and
Rodriguez, and putting Rodrigo up front at number 9. The guy just looks like a different animal, man. Leeds are tasty, man. I'm telling you.
Okay. And unlike a couple of teams on that bottom row, we're actually exciting to watch.
You are good.
I'm saying it's going to be a draw. Crystal, what are you saying? I think it's going to be a draw. I think Leeds will get a point.
I think I'm swaying a little bit towards the Eagles. Sorry, Fluid. Only because
I know that.
Sorry, but Palace.
Easy, Greg. Big call.
Palace are unbeaten in their last 5 league games against Leeds United, and since they're playing on Monday Night Football, the Eagles are also unbeaten in their last 4 Premier League games played on a Monday. So those two facts work in favor of Crystal Palace clearly, and I should think that they'd like to add on to their last result. Both teams coming into the Monday Night Football, 1 win for Crystal Palace in their last game. I think it was against Everton, and Leeds are coming into the game on the back end of a loss. So I think I'm swaying.
You never hear Ern earlier. Even a broken clock is right twice a year, you know.
That don't apply to Leeds.
I'll follow Ern. That's the one.
Let me go over to Ern anyway, because Ern's looking rather bored. We're not talking about the resurgence of Tottenham. It's not. It's still Spursy, but it's the West versus North London derby. Ivan Toney is chomping. He wants your defender. What's he called again?
Romero
and Ivan Toney.
Nobody wants.
He does. Nah. He wants any. Listen, I saw Ivan Toney play against Van Dijk. He couldn't. He tried to lay a glove on him, but he done well. The bigger the defender is, the better Ivan Toney plays. So
it's not even him. It's Eriksen and Mbeumo.
It's Eriksen, mate. That's what they got to watch.
Eriksen, yeah.
It's going to be emotional for Eriksen, though. He's not going to turn up.
No, Robbo. Eriksen destroyed us at Stamford Bridge.
Yeah, it's Eriksen and Mbeumo. Those two boys, they worry me a bit. You know what I mean? But
Mbeumo's lightning.
More worries than we have worries, isn't it? So
there's a next Eric you need to worry about. His name is Eric Dyer.
You know what?
Dyer by name.
Yeah, hold on. He's been very good under Conte.
Listen, Fluid, right? Even I don't like him, but I'm telling you, I think he stands a good chance on that World Cup squad for England. I'm telling you.
Sean, leave him. Leave him, Sean. Yeah, man. Yeah. He's been wicked.
Yeah, but Dyer's one of them players there who he knows the right people in it.
What?
Dyer. He knows the right. Dyer shouldn't be. Come on, Robert.
He
should not be.
What I alluded to earlier.
He's an English defender, bro. He's what? He's an English defender. He's playing week in, week out.
He's better than that nutter we got.
Hang on. Ernie, stop. He's an English defender. He's playing week in, week out. Tottenham are currently finishing 4th. Yeah. That must have some. If you even try to work it out, he must be playing half decent.
Right. Okay. And as I said to you before, Southgate prides himself on loyal players.
On loyal players. Yeah, that's why they're not going to win it. That's why they're not going to win it.
Huh?
That's why they're not going to win the World Cup.
I'm going.
We're at the World Cup. Let's. So, what do you guys? I want a round table. Brentford versus Tottenham. I think that's a very important game for Brentford. Brentford pop their win. That them secure. They're in.
We'll win that. We'll win that.
I know. I want. I know I want, but I think that's going to be a Spurs win.
2-0 Spursy.
Welcome to the
I
party.
think it's a draw.
Formality. Nah.
Yeah, we
Draw.
didn't say that.
Brentford at home, you know, bro.
Nah.
Just don't listen
Oh,
to
Brentford at
Patrick.
home. No, Brentford win.
Brentford at home.
Brentford win.
Brentford at home.
Their crowd is
Doesn't matter where they are.
kind of.
Crystal, what do you reckon?
I think it might
Come on,
be a
Crystal.
Brentford win or draw for Brentford. The thing with Brentford is they perform when the odds are stacked against them
That's
in their
football,
last
isn't it?
two. London derbies on a trot, so that being Chelsea and West Ham, they put 6 goals past both clubs respectively, and those are 2 games that I think people looked and thought, you know, they're over and out. They're not going to get within a touching distance
There you
of
go.
the Blues or the Irons, and
they've
and they've got 2-yard man.
And they've
Except they
conquered,
must
they've
win.
conquered, they've conquered West. Hang on, they've conquered West. They conquered East. All they need to do is conquer North.
And they already touch Arsenal as well.
And touch up
When
Arsenal.
they come up, they touch
Listen,
Come
Arsenal.
on.
So it's possible.
Listen. Tottenham will score 3 goals tomorrow. Are you
But
telling
then
me?
that mean
Who them for
Brentford's gonna
Brentford?
score 4.
I was
Come on.
expecting them to score 3 when they played Burnley away.
Listen,
From
go back a bit.
a selfish perspective, I think Brentford could do it, but in reality, I reckon it could be a draw. I'd love Brentford
Hey, what
to
is
win.
up with you lot today?
Wait, Ern, calm down, son. Calm down. You got to look at it as it is. I think
You're looking at it
I
wrong.
think it'll be a draw, a score draw. But from a Chelsea perspective, I'd love you to lose, but I don't think you'll lose. I think it'll be a draw, score draw, maybe a 2-2.
Based on what? The fact that it's
The reason why I think Spurs will win is because Harry Kane, right, is on fire at the moment, mate. I'm telling you, right.
Playing in
He's got
midfield,
to be
yeah?
the most complete- He's got to be the most complete English footballer, right, currently playing football.
No, complete footballer, period, in the world.
Oh, you have done absolutely.
He's Maradona now.
You've lost you've lost the plot. You've
Listen,
lost the plot.
you-
That's
you
like saying
pretend
Harry
you know
Kane is.
football, innit?
That's like saying Maguire's the
come on.
best defender in the world.
Conte's
Can I ask you a
Italian.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah,
Do you think Kane's going to stay next season?
yeah, of course, he's done now. He's staying.
So Harry
Where's he
gone.
going? Going where? City are better than Haaland. The only place he can go is United, and that is
Man
a
U.
lateral move. Why would you go there?
Why
Doesn't
would
make
you
Play for
want him
12
there?
pag.
Sorry?
I think Spurs are going to do something next season. I really do.
Yeah, do
Sean,
what?
leave them, Sean. Don't say anymore. Don't say
What they
anymore,
gonna-
Sean.
Tell us what
Just
they're going to
leave them.
do.
We all know.
Sean, what
What?
they're going to do?
Right, listen.
Yours
They're going
dying.
to build. They're going to build
In
some more roads on the
2016,
Sainsbury
In
Stadium.
2016, when I gave you £20 and a bottle of champagne when we finished 10th in the league, right?
Yeah.
You was killing my ass, right?
Yeah.
When we
Yeah.
signed Conte, I said to you, guess what? We're going to win the league in 2017. You know, this is only right? When we lost 3-0 to Arsenal, you was in Grenada at that time, innit?
Yeah.
Was you in Grenada with Sweeney's party? I'm sure
Yeah.
you were there, right?
Yeah, I was there.
You, right? And we was all watching the game. Remember, we was all around the pool, right?
And I had
We
my
lost
Man
3-0.
United shirt on.
Yeah, and you had your Man United shirt on,
Yeah.
right? And this is only. Do you remember? Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
13 games later, we're top of the league. I try to call you. Guess what?
Yeah.
I couldn't.
My battery was dead. Every time my battery was dead. You keep on
You should
calling
have ran
on
his
my
burner
battery
phone.
was dead.
What I'm trying to say to you, Conte knows how to win leagues.
Exactly.
Conte will have a.
What are you telling me that you're going to win the league next year, Sean? Is that what you're
I
No,
said
telling
we'll
me?
be the top three.
I'm not saying that. I'm
That
saying
Ern's going to win the league.
Conte,
I don't know if we'll win
Once
the league,
Conte-
but we'll challenge, mate.
Well, I'm not saying they're going to win the league. What I'm saying to you is that Conte will transform Spurs next season because he knows.
It's
How do you
dependent
do
on
it?
what Daniel
So
Levy
transfer
does. Daniel
them
Levy is
into
not
what?
like Abramovich.
He's kind of done it now.
Daniel Levy is not like
He
Abramovich.
will transfer them into.
Ernie, do you think you're going to finish above Spurs this season?
Who?
This season.
Daddy Ernie. Yeah.
No.
I told you, Robbo.
What kind of
I
question
keep
is
on
that?
telling you, it's like you can't hear me. We're done. Done.
No, you're not done yet. You got Arsenal. Can we have the predictions? Arsenal versus. You're not done. Can
That's
we have the
1-1.
prediction? Arsenal
That's a draw.
versus Manchester United.
That's a draw. Both
Yeah,
teams are
smells like a
capped.
draw, that
That's
one.
a draw.
No,
That's a draw.
Arsenal win.
No,
That's a
come
draw.
on.
Chelsea guys, what do you reckon?
I know. I want Man United to beat Arsenal, but I'm going for an Arsenal win.
Okay.
Wow. I think I'm going for Arsenal win too. I'm joining you guys.
Not even Saka's parents will say they'd win that game. You guys are unbelievable, man.
I can't talk about the Manchester City versus Watford. I'm not doing Watford a disservice. I can't see them going to Etihad and winning. And that is 3 o'clock tomorrow. So certainly Man City will be top of the league with 3 points. But there's a
Merseyside derby now, boy.
Yeah, there's a Merseyside derby.
Liverpool
versus Everton. Hang on. Well, listen, it's pressure. Man City will go further up the league. They'll stretch out. Liverpool have to win the game. It's a Merseyside derby. It's a Merseyside derby, and you know who's at the wheel down at is it Everton? Yeah, Everton. Yeah, Frank's at the wheel. Frank's at the wheel. So could you see him stretching his defense like he stretched his face? And could it be a block out, or do Liverpool cruise that game? Guys, honest opinion.
Firstly, hold on. Frank Lampard is a Chelsea legend. Don't disrespect him that way, yeah? Don't do it. The Chelsea legend. Don't disrespect
West Ham legend.
Yeah? All right, thank you. That's all I need to say. Yeah, I'm not having that.
Okay. All right, carry on.
I don't think it's going to be a walk in the park for Liverpool, even though they're usually out on top in the Merseyside derby. Reason being, this time round it's a little bit more different for Everton, with them being so close to the drop zone. So there's something there for them to play for in terms of trying to avoid relegation. I think Liverpool will win, but I don't think it's going to be a walk in the park for them.
Okay, a score prediction.
Your boy Alex Iwobi's been playing well for them.
He has been playing, but Alex Iwobi's problem is consistency and showing up in big games, and it doesn't get much bigger than that in a Merseyside derby, does it? Like I said, taking into consideration that they're so close to the drop zone, I'm not expecting it to be smooth sailing for Liverpool. But then again, Liverpool are superior. Look what they did to Manchester United. Have we actually spoken about that? Because I was listening. I don't think we spoke about I don't know. I'm just coming into the conversation. I don't know if we spoke about
when you're talking.
I don't know if we spoke about that, but
we spoke about it at length. Lewis.
Okay. Crystal is a smiling assassin. I love the way she slipped that one in there.
Yeah, she's good.
Lewis, what do you reckon? Sunday, 4:30.
It has to be a Liverpool win. I don't think it'll be as convincing as everybody may think it will be, bending on form. I think Everton's going to come and try and park the bus for about 25, 30 minutes and frustrate you. I think you'll get a goal just before half-time and maybe get another one midway towards the end of the second half. But you'll win 2-0. But the first 20 minutes will be really key, because if you'll come out firing, if they don't hold on to a 0-0 in the first 20 minutes, if you score in the 5-10 minutes, look what happens against Man United. You'll run riot with them. So the first 10, 15, 20 minutes will be important. If they can hold out, then I'll give you a 2-0. If they don't hold out, then it could be anything.
Spursian.
Yeah, so I'm saying there's going to be 2 red cards in this one. And
what?
I don't think
Yeremina.
You've got no time for that stuff, that Aggie stuff.
No. You know, two people getting sent off. Remember I said it. Just remember I said it. 2 people getting sent off. Probably Richarlison, maybe Robertson.
And Robertson.
What I will say is this. This game ain't about what you've seen in the part. This is a derby. It doesn't matter how good you are or how well you've been playing. It's all about the passion and how you assert yourself in that game. For me, I can't call it, man.
Call it. Well, if you can't call it, it's a draw then.
Okay, all right. So the first 20 minutes, Liverpool, no one can touch them for 20 minutes. Rock and roll. You have to shut the shot up quickly. And Everton don't know how to defend. That's why they're at the bottom. So I'll tell you after 20 minutes what the score will be. But if you're telling me to pick a result now, I'm saying 2-2.
Sean?
2-2.
Who's going to score 2 for Everton?
Richarlison and an own goal, Van Dijk. How about that?
Liverpool 5.
Yeremina will get sent off. And Liverpool, if they're not winning, will bring on either Jota or Firmino or whether Diaz. They've got that much.
It's not about football.
So much to fire. And it's the same as... Nah.
All right.
I can't remember when was the last Everton win?
Did
Last
you watch
season.
Everton
Last
against
season.
United?
Last season.
Liverpool last season. When
Oh
we,
yeah, they got like a 1 win. All right.
Firmino is a little bit of a doubt though. Fluid. I think he picked up a minor foot injury in the semi-final against Manchester City.
Who?
So he's a Firmino.
So they'll go.
Oh, he's a
Diaz,
centre back anyway. He ain't good.
Mane, and Salah.
Diaz, Mane, and Salah.
Yeah.
And then
Jota
they'll
on the
have,
bench.
Or
and
Jota,
then they'll
because
have,
they're just sport for choices.
then they'll have Jota waiting in
Yeah.
the wing for about 70 minutes, 65, 70. If it's 0-0, they bring on Jota. You know what Jota does? He always manages to score.
what do you reckon, Sean?
5-0.
Oh,
Wow.
I'm so confident that Liverpool are going to batter Everton. All right, they're going to murder them.
Yeah.
I can't see it, man. I can't see it,
Did
mate.
you-
Everton,
Did you give us a score,
Everton
Lewis?
need to stay in the league.
Yeah, I said
They can't
2-0
have
to
Liverpool
you.
win the
I think
league
it'll be
and
the
lose.
first 20 minutes will be key. If they get through 20 minutes, it'll be about a 2-0. If Everton don't survive that 20 minutes, it could be anything. So yeah.
I think it's going to be Liverpool 3, but I do think I'll only agree with Ernie slightly. I think they will score a goal, and it may be a penalty. I think they score.
Yeah,
I think
listen,
that
it's
Jamie
gonna be- it's not
Richarlison,
going to be.
he's
It's not going to be
aggy.
a game of football, lads.
But this man's going to seal the deal because he's playing
love it.
number 9. The game is done. It's up. I reckon Liverpool win 3-1.
I think Van Dijk.
You know your point about Kane being a complete player. I think Sadio Mane on form is running him close, mate. I'm telling you.
Nah.
Ernie, you can't see it, can you? You can't see it, can you?
Listen, let's do this quickly, yeah? Give me a minute. They're different players. Don't get me wrong. Mane and Salah, very quick, very deadly, very dangerous.
No, I said Mane. Just deal with this. Just deal with the King of Africa.
Listen,
Well,
we
we
said
said that.
they can't do what Kane does. They can't do it.
He makes goals.
Drop off,
Did you see the goal he made the other day? Listen, he can do it, mate. I'm telling you. He's a clever
That
footballer.
pass he played into, was it Salah? He played that.
He's a clever footballer. And you know, guess what? He's an unselfish footballer. All right?
Who are you talking about? Salah?
Unlike Mo Salah,
Mane.
he's interested in self-promotion.
Yeah.
One thing of a side, though, I just want to say, congratulations to Fulham, another London club in
Well done, Fulham. Yeah.
They're replacing Watford. So what? You know,
Watford in London.
They're replacing Watford.
Well, I did say that Mane was the player.
A yo-yo club. Yeah. Up and down. Yeah. Like a yo-yo. Not interested. All I'm looking forward to
Kane's the best striker in the world, by the way.
I did
Hey,
say
before guys,
Striker in the world. All right, let me just explain Kane to this brother here. Kane is fantastic when he plays the ball to Son. When he plays for England, he leads the ball.
Fluid. You're talking to this brother here. Sadio Mane hang on. Sadio Mane is king of Africa. He's won the Africa Cup of Nations. He's won it with his country. Kane has won zilch. You can't tell this man.
Do you know
He's
why?
not going to hear it.
The king of Africa. The king of Africa can play anyway.
I'm telling you, Senegal are going to do something at this World Cup.
Yes, I agree.
Senegal
Ghana will.
They got one of the best goalkeepers in the world, and they got one of the best strikers in the world. They're going to
Anyway, guys, listen. I don't like doing the show and upsetting Spursy, and he's all right. It's the other deluded one I like upsetting. But before we go, that's a big game.
Oh yeah, love
it.
Chelsea, Man City.
We need to get revenge, mate. We need to get revenge.
Bonnie, have score again. That.
But why Bonnie? I want to know why Bonnie picture so small. Why one? What is the small? Come on, Crystal. What are they dealing with Bonnie like that? Bonnie is like Yaya Toure for Manchester City. She's unbelievable.
She's outstanding. She's outstanding. But you know, in fairness to Manchester City, they are completely stacked when it comes to talent and squad depth. So I'm not surprised that Bunny's oftentimes starting off as a substitute. Thankfully, when she does come on, she's either scoring or providing assists. So obviously, talent speaks for itself. But she's gone to a team where competition is just sky high. It could only benefit her.
We need to put Man City in there because they denied us a second treble. So we need
last year.
We need to put them in a place. You know what I mean?
It's a good match. For me,
Ernie, what did you say?
The Women's League's still on.
Sorry. What did you say, Ernie?
Don't ask, please. Don't do it, Sean.
Huh?
Don't do it, Sean. Please stop.
No, I didn't hear what he said.
Who is top of the Women's League?
You said who won it?
Oh, it's Chelsea at the moment.
are.
They're leading the top just by one.
Arsenal leading. Well, guess what we did? We took out the fishing rod right like this.
But the question is, I know Fluid can ask me: will Man City ladies bring more fans to Wembley than Man City men's, because they don't know how to fill a stadium, do they?
No.
Yeah, but that game's after the Liverpool Chelsea game. That's on the Sunday, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you reckon they'll? Well, I'm not even asking the question.
I think they go about 40,000 there.
Well, the Liverpool Chelsea Cup final, just for information, is 4:45 kickoff on a Saturday.
What? What date?
15th of May.
17th of May.
All right.
No, it's not 15th.
15th or 15th. Sorry, my bad.
This is the day after, right?
Okay.
Yeah, that's on the 16th.
Okay.
Of May is the women's final.
That's all right.
No, 14th of May. I was right. 14th of 4:45.
of May.
What's on the 14th of May? Yeah, it's right. You're right. You are right. Sorry, you are right.
Yeah. The men's final and the women's is the Sunday.
Yeah.
Chelsea going great guns, aren't they? Damn, they just keep winning trophies.
Yeah, they're not bad, mate.
Might be.
Bon voyage to Abramovich. They're saying a bon voyage to Abramovich, so they want him to go out in a blaze of glory.
And guess what, Ernie?
What?
He will.
Yeah, but what comes afterwards? What comes afterwards?
Sorry?
Well, as we know, we've got 2 million.
Shall I tell you, Ernie? Shall I tell you?
Lewis Hamilton and Serena.
Lewis and Serena.
What's up with that? No, I don't get that. Lewis Hamilton. What is he?
You know why they're doing that? Because what they want to try and do, they want to try and say that Lewis Hamilton is an Arsenal fan. So what they're trying to do, all these celebrities are basically putting their money in, and basically they're covering up their American investors. And I don't want no American investors at Chelsea.
Husani.
You see what happened at Arsenal with Kroenke? You see what happened at United with the Glazers? You see what happened with Liverpool? All American investors want is a return of the investment.
Correct.
Man City, I want a country owning Chelsea. Because guess what they do? They'll pour resources into it. Yeah?
Yeah, well.
Yeah. All right.
It's going to be on the ownership thing. We should know by next week exactly where we are with that.
Yeah.
And it's obviously got 3 people in it, and they're all mainly American based, apart from the Martin Broughton leading one, which has got Seb Cohen, mainly English based.
Oh, he's even worse.
It just seems a bit really kind of.
Isn't the Broughton one with the sports?
Brad used to be the Liverpool chairman.
And he's at Aston Villa now, right? It's got something to do with Villa.
I don't care, bro. I don't care, bro.
No,
I think he's
crazy. It's been an interesting couple of weeks on that. What's on with Ernie's page?
I forgot to say, guys. I forgot to say something. Harry Kane's best striker in the world, mate.
He didn't never forget to say it. You say it every week. Well, listen, guys.
He'll only prove that if on the 19th of December 2022 he's lifting the World Cup over his head.
Yeah, he'll do that. Don't worry.
And you've got him for another season because Ten Hag's at Man United, not Pochettino, so you're lucky.
Yeah, they ain't got the money. I don't care. Man United ain't got the money.
Well, we'll wait and see. Listen, thanks for everybody that watched the show. And if you're watching the show now, you can still press that like button. It really is going to spin it around YouTube. Press it now, man. Just press it, man. Just press the like.
Can I ask this final
Sean
question?
Wallace, if this was ITV, you'd do this as well, wouldn't you?
Yeah,
See?
Can I ask this final question? What has happened to Ernie's pay-as-you-go phone?
Well, the problem we found out he's running too many burner phones.
What has gone wrong with his pay-as-you-go phone? He's a joker.
And is Dylan gonna do it for Jamaica tomorrow, or is it gonna be Fury, Crystal?
Yeah. Oh, that's gonna be a tough one.
Man. I think Dillian have a chance, you know.
Nah, he don't have
2 chances. Slim and none.
Yeah.
Fury's gonna annihilate his face, boy.
If he beats Fury tomorrow,
he ain't gonna beat him, mate.
No, I'm just saying, if he beats Fury tomorrow, I mean, that's a whole. It can happen.
It's got a punch, mate. It can happen.
It's heavyweight boxing.
I can't see it happening.
I've said for a long time, well, anybody who listens to me, I said Tyson Fury is the best heavyweight in the world, and he's proved it.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Easy. He don't look nice. He's not nice to look at, but yeah, very good.
He's a big guy who can box, and we now see he can take a punch.
It's just it'll take one punch, and if there's somebody that can land the punch, Dylan's he can land the punch, but has he got that big enough punch, that big explosive punch? I don't know.
The heavyweight division is so bad that Tyson looks good.
Usyk is alright. Yeah. Usyk is smash. What's his name as well? Joshua.
Usyk is going to beat. He's going to beat Joshua again.
Oh,
yeah, but
you see, when he doesn't have his size.
Styles win fights, innit? Like Brentford beat Tottenham. Styles win fights. His face is going to get rearranged, and we're not going to take it easy on Ericsson. No way. No way. I don't care if he's got a Casio watching his chest. We're going to go there and we're going to lick off their head.
I heard that line before, man. Listen, guys, we've got to go. Please, guys, share the show. Thank you for Taloa, Sean, Fluid, Daddy Ernie, Spursy, Ernie, and Lewis. It's the Fixture List. We'll be back next week, 8 p.m. Tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. Just like